In today's video, I am going to be reviewing the new Jaclyn Hill and Morphe brushes, and I'm going to be comparing them to my other brushes from the set that she came out with a year ago. And then I'm also going to be doing a look using the Bling Boss palette, and if you do not know, that is the pretty purple palette. Obviously, I was thinking I was just gonna do one look using the Vault palettes and just kind of combine them all, but I did a poll on my Instagram and everybody was saying that they wanted to see one look per palette. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I kind of got bugged by this, I'm not gonna lie. I get what they did by doing this so that they have like one color story, because I know sometimes, especially when you're new to makeup, you do look at like all of these colors, especially if you were to put all the colors from all the rest of these palettes together, and you might get overwhelmed in knowing what goes with what. But I just see this kind of being a pain for me. Well, I don't see it, I already know it because I've already dealt with it. Because I've already used them. I see it being a pain because I want to kind of go back and forth between a couple of them, because there are colors that work with the other palettes that go with each of the different color stories. Does that make sense? Like, I love all the transition shades in the Ring the Alarm palette. Armed and Gorgeous has some really good like transition shades in it as well. Dark Magic has those really pretty deep colors for the outer V. That's kind of my gripe with these. I might, once I'm done filming with these, depot them and put them into one giant palette and just call it the Vault palette. And just kind of keep them organized by their color story. Kind of like what I did with my Viseart palettes. Because I just like to have one giant palette in front of me with everything that I need. I get that some people like this for like traveling purposes. But for me, I would have preferred like one big old palette, kind of like her original Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm also reviewing the Jaclyn Hill Morphe brushes. The thing where I get confused about this brush collaboration is because of this brush collaboration, okay? So this came out last year, just last year. And this one had 23 brushes in it. It was around the $100 price range. Actually, I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Hold on just a second.
I'm just gonna go to the Morphe website and sign into my account and look at my previous orders and see. I mean, guys, that picture of her, I don't care what your opinion of her is, that picture is bomb. Like, can I have that tiara too? I mean, I've had other tiaras in my life and crowns, but that's awesome. Okay, here it is. So I bought this set with 23 brushes in it last year. Let's see, I placed this order on May 26, 2017 at 1:56 a.m. Probably because I stayed up for it to go on sale or something. And this set was $154.99. Okay, 23 brushes, and this was the set, and it was that price. And of course I used a discount code and I bought a couple of other things, so that was the price for that one. My most recent order was placed on August 28th, and this collection is $165 with 24 brushes. So what, $15-ish difference price wise, and you get one more brush with this one than you did with this one. Like I said, where I get confused with this is that she said that Morphe approached her for this one and said that everybody has been asking for her favorite brushes and they wanted to go ahead and make like one set, and she loved this case so much, and I see why. It's freaking bomb. This was only a year ago. Like, so May, June, July, August, September. Well, we'll say August because it was about the same time in May. So a year and 3 months later, this launched, and she claimed that she was working on this for 3 years. So I guess I don't get why they came out with this of all of her favorite Morphe brushes when they were going to come out with this of the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brushes. I don't know. And it was about the same price too. So like, I don't see why people are like freaking out about the price, because I would rather spend $165 on this set than $300 on the Kylie brushes set.
Just saying.
This one was like a mix and match of all of her favorite brushes from all of their collections. Whether that was like the Elite collection, the Rose Gold collection, the Gunmetal, the, you know, the classic brushes, whatever. And then these are just all of the Jaclyn Hill white brushes. And another thing that sets these ones apart is every single one of them has this double like indent down on the ferrule here, and they say that is going to make it so that the handle here is not going to pop out like some of the other brushes might do. So I do appreciate that. I do feel like the name on the brush is like a little, like it's indented a little more than the other Morphe brushes, as where these are just printed on. And then also on these, they do, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on camera, it does have a JH stamped into the ferrule as well. So, and then overall, these ones are just so much softer than my other Morphe brushes, because I pretty much only use Morphe brushes just because they're so affordable and such a good quality for the price. I don't think you can beat it. Love or hate Morphe, you can't beat their brushes. Their brushes are bomb. I mean, this collaboration makes sense. I just got confused because this was only a year ago and she said she's working on this for 3 years. But they are super soft, super luxurious. They feel heavy and thick in your hand when you're using them, which makes you feel like you're using some super luxurious, nice brush. It really wasn't that big of a price difference from this one, as I said. So I obviously did not have an issue spending this price for this whole set. I went back and forth on purchasing this just because I did purchase this one, but I wanted to get it and be able to show you guys the actual difference in the brushes, and I do feel like there is a difference. Is the difference big enough to justify purchasing this set if you purchase this one? Probably not, because those brushes I still feel like perform amazing. But I mean, those brushes are just gonna kind of become my backup ones when these ones are dirty, and they might become like more of like my client brushes. I just can't get over this brush. Like, I just want to sit and touch this brush on me all day long. Like, it's almost, dare I say it, orgasmic. But it really is like that soft. So, I mean, this collaboration makes sense. I just got confused because this was only a year ago and she said she's working on this for 3 years. So, but they are super soft, super luxurious. They feel heavy and thick in your hand when you're using them, which makes you feel like you're using some super luxurious, nice brush. It really wasn't that big of a price difference from this one, as I said. So I obviously did not have an issue spending this price for this whole set. I went back and forth on purchasing this just because I did purchase this one, but I wanted to get it and be able to show you guys the actual difference in the brushes, and I do feel like there is a difference. Is the difference big enough to justify purchasing this set if you purchase this one? Probably not, because those brushes I still feel like perform amazing. But I mean, those brushes are just gonna kind of become my backup ones when these ones are dirty, and they might become like more of like my client brushes. I just can't get over this brush. Like, I just want to sit and touch this brush on me all day long. Like, it's almost, dare I say it, orgasmic. But it really is like that soft.
Smells like a baby's bottom. A pukey baby's bottom. I don't know. I'm just trying to say all the Jaclyn words.
So those are kind of like my overall thoughts on this brush set off the get-go. I'm going to go ahead and plug you into the tutorial now. And in the tutorial, I use the Bling Boss palette, and then I use these brushes, and I kind of go over the kind of comparison brushes to the other set, or just any of the Morphe brushes that I have in my collection already. You will kind of get to see a more in-depth look between her brushes and the other brushes and kind of see the difference. Obviously, you're not going to be able to feel the difference. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I literally just want to sit here and do this because it's so soft.
It's like butter. Because she loves the word butter too. It feels like butter. Now I'm just getting awkward and weird. Let's face it, though, that's who I am.
So, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. I just barely got this one for the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. It was the first one, one of the first things that went on sale the first day. So I haven't really had the time or the chance to test it out yet to see how I feel about it. I know it feels like super nice and luxurious on the skin, super hydrating and whatnot. Has hyaluronic acid in it, which we all love. But I don't know how it performs on oily skin. Like, it might be something I want to use more in like kind of my chill out and not really doing a whole lot days, because I don't know how it's gonna help with the longevity of my foundation. But it feels really nice. Like, my skin feels really nice after I put it on, so what are you gonna do? Okay, for foundation, I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty Faux Filter. This is in the color Chai 210B. I also have the lighter shade, which is Shortbread 200B. I'm not super tan right now, so I might actually kind of mix the two shades together. But there is quite a big difference between these two shades. Like, this is like my absolute palest, and this is like my absolute darkest. So somewhere in the middle would be pretty good.
There go all of my new brushes on the ground. Fell out of my lap, onto the ground. Every single one. That's fantastic. I just love that.
So I'm going in with the foundation brush from the collection. This is the JH03. It is super soft. She was kind of comparing it to the M439. You can see the M439 is a little bit shorter and it's actually denser. And this one has a little more movement to it, which, I mean, if it works, I don't care how dense it is. So I'm just gonna start working this in.
What can I do to make you?
And that color is like perfect. I still just love how full of coverage this foundation is. It's so good. And that blended out really nicely. I don't see any like streak marks or anything like that. It just kind of blew it out, I guess you would say. Then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This is in the color Vanilla. This is like my self-tanned shade. And I can't do this with a brush. I just can't. So I'm going to take my Morphe sponge, spritz it with some Fix Plus, and then I will pounce and bounce it in. Okay, now for powder, I'm going to go in with the Big Daddy, the JH01 brush. Now, in her other collection, she had the E41. And these are them side by side. You can see height-wise, the bristles are pretty even, but I feel like this one's more kind of almost boxy, as where this one's more rounded. And I think, like, the more I use it, the more it's going to kind of blow up. But it's so, this is a lot softer than this one. Like, this one's still really soft, but like this one just feels so luxurious. And I am such a big fan of like these ginormous powder brushes because I'm an oily girl and I love my powder. So this is my Too Faced Peach Perfect matte powder. I'm just gonna set my entire face with this.
So won't you please stay?
Before I set my under eye concealer, I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape Eye Primer and I'm going to prime my eyes with this. I just love how easy this primer is. Just swipe it on and you're done. Then I'm going to take the JH08 brush to buff this out. This is like the concealer brush. Obviously I'm not going to use it for concealer, but I'll use it for this. That buffed it out really nicely. Usually for this step, I'll show you what I use. I usually use this E21 brush, and it's kind of like angled. But this Jaclyn Hill one just like buffed it out so nicely and quickly. So I'm a fan of that one. It's a hit for that step at least. Then I'm going to take my Huda Beauty powder in the color Cupcake. And this is the Juano sponge that Nikki Tutorials was like freaking out about. I don't know how much I love this for like liquid foundation, but I like it for like baking. Like, it's really good for baking. But for applying foundation, it wasn't my favorite. Now I'm just going to take the JH10, and this is the one that she had in her other kit. It was the E47. You can see they're not exactly the same. Like, the Jaclyn Hill one is a little bit, like, it's longer, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but it's like thicker. And I think that's going to stamp on more powder, and it'll be better for like what she actually uses it for. I'm just going to be occasionally stamping back and forth, back and forth. And I'm going to take it and sharpen up my nose baking. This powder smells just like the foundation smells, and some people don't like that. I myself don't mind it. And then to set like the rest of the areas where I put my concealer, I'm going to take the JH07. And the JH07 is supposed to be like the M348 brush. They're very, very similar. This one just looks more fluffy because I've washed it and used it a million times. This one will end up being probably exactly the same as the M438. So they're almost identical. But lately, I haven't even used my M348. I've been using this one. This is the M554. And I have been obsessed with this one for my under eye area. So I'm just gonna grab some more of that cupcake and then just set the other areas where I put the concealer. And I'm gonna actually set my eyeshadow or my eye primer into place. And I'm quickly just gonna do my brows. I just got the brow definer for Anastasia because it was on sale at Ulta. Then I'm gonna take my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. It's gonna set my brows down with this. I'm gonna grab this Morphe. It's the Oh Brow Baby Brow Concealer Pencil. And I'm just gonna clean up that line. And I always just kind of buff that out with my finger. And it just sharpens up the brow so nicely. And I'm just gonna take some more of that cupcake powder. I like to go over my brows like that. Just kind of like sets them down. I don't do it all the time, but when I do, my brows don't move all day. Okay, so I did a poll on my Instagram stories and asked you guys which palettes you wanted to see me use from the Jaclyn Hill Vault. And I did like the polls on each of them. And the one that got the most votes was the Bling Boss palette. And then I also asked if you guys wanted to see like one tutorial using like a bunch of shades from all the palettes, or if you wanted to see just one of the palettes. And it was majority just one palette. So Bling Boss it is, and I guess I'll just make more videos of other palettes. So the first color I'm going to go in with is Hush Hush. And this is going to be so strange for me because it's more of a cooler tone, which I would not expect that from her. But I'm going to take the JH30 brush. It's the largest blending brush from the collection. I would say the most comparable brush to this one would be the M504 brush. You can see they're very, very similar, almost identical, but this one is definitely more scratchy than this one from her collection. This one is very soft, very, very soft. I don't mind scratchy brushes. I feel like scratchy brushes really get the job done, and that's ultimately the goal for me is it's got to get the job done. But this one is super, super soft, and they're pretty much exactly the same. Next I'm going to go in with Rockstar, and I'm going to go in with the JH32. To me, this one reminds me a lot of the M441. Very similar and almost pretty much identical brush bristles. The original one feels a little like stiffer, and this one does feel a little bit softer. So again, if that's something that matters to you, that is there. I'm like scared to like go so intense with this. And I'm just gonna go back in with the first brush and kind of go over those edges to make sure it is nice and blended out.
I keep forgetting to like zoom you guys in when I do my eyes. Bad YouTuber.
Next I'm going to go in with the color Sparks. And this I think might be like my favorite color in the entire collection. And I'm going to go in with the JH33 brush. And this one to me is very similar to the M433, hence why it's JH33. They're just both that fluffy blending brush that has been pinched. Sorry, my other Morphe one is dirty. Oof. See how much pigment is on there? These are super pigmented shadows.
I haven't felt this in ages, and I know patience. So won't you please stay?
Like when I first saw this color in this palette, I was like, really? It looks like it went in like Ring the Alarm. Like it to me would go better with those, but like after putting it on with them, I can see why. Again, I'm just gonna grab that fluffy brush, the ginormous one, and just kind of go over the edges. I'm gonna go in with Mystic, and I'm going to take the JH40 brush to do this. And this one, it reminds me of my M507 and my M506. This is the M507, this is M506. Very, very similar. Again, the Jaclyn Hill one is just so much softer to the touch than the other two original Morphe brushes are.
Moves fast, and I roll now. Yeah, I want to used to pay my mind.
Okay, now I'm going to cut my crease, and I'm going to use my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer to do this. And there really isn't a brush that I would use in this collection to do this, so I'm not gonna kid myself. I'm gonna go in with the M705 concealer brush. I love this one because it's got that sharp point, and it really helps when you're cutting the crease. On a normal day-to-day basis, I would go in with like Pizzazz or Ballsy, Glitz and Glam, or Bling and Bling. Bling Bling, not Bling and Bling. I totally want to go in with Gem though right now because I kind of want to just push myself outside of that box. Let's just do it. This is the JH41 brush, and this is one that she said that she created, that they did not have anything like it in the collection, or any of the Morphe brushes, I guess I should say. I'm going to show you the ones that are the most similar to me. Off the bat, the first one I thought of was my M214 brush. And you can see they are very similar, but this one from the Jaclyn Hill collection is bigger. And then I have the M522 brush, which is like the bigger one, the biggest. So we'll just go like this. Smallest to biggest right there. Basically the same shape on all of them. And this is like that in between. Let's go ahead and go in with Gem. First I'm going to go in with it dry and see how well it applies. Look at that shadow. It's crazy. Okay. Holy crap. That is so freaking intense. Oh my gosh. I honestly don't know where I would wear this, but I'm digging it. I'm just gonna try it with my finger. Like, I don't even think I need to do it wet. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's intense. That is so intense. I'm just gonna go back in with the JH40 brush and a little bit of that Mystic, maybe a little bit of Rockstar too. And just kind of help to blend that outer end a little bit again. So much of these steps is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I kind of like don't know which one to go on the inner corner with. Like that's gonna fade and blend into that one the best. Kind of thinking ballsy because it's got a little bit more of a purple shift. I'm gonna grab my JH42 brush, and the most similar I think that I have to this is my M213 brush. And you can see the size difference here. They're very similar in shape, but the Jaclyn Hill one is bigger and still like a lot softer. Going in with Ballsy, and this is dry. I was kind of surprised that everybody wanted to see Bling Boss first. Just because like Norvina just came out. And I feel like all of my last video, or all my last looks on my channel have been purple because I did several looks with the Norvina. But I mean, if that's what you guys want to see, that's what you want to see, so. And this is so different than Norvina too, so. I'm gonna give myself a little winged line with the new Kat Von D Dagger tattoo liner in Trooper Black. I really like the shape of this. It's like slanted. Hope you can see that on camera. Now I'm going to take my JH07 again, and I'm just going to brush off all this bake. I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but I feel like it just kind of needs it. This is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter in the color Pyro. I did this with the Norvina palette. I gotta do it again. So I'm just gonna do this right on the line of that cut crease. Just to give it a little more pizzazz. Because I'm ballsy like that. And I like my glitz and glam. And my bling bling. You see what I'm doing there? Get it? Oh, it just like takes the look to a whole new level. I need some brightness under my brows. And the brush that I would use for this from the collection would be the M42 brush, but since I already used that and it is currently wet, I'm going to go in with that M124 brush, and I'm just going to grab Tempura from my Soft Glam palette because I know that this just does not fail me ever. Oh yeah, that's totally giving me what I need. Call it cheating, but this kind of shade is like non-negotiable in every single palette in my life. And I so wish that Anastasia sold this shadow as a single shadow, but they don't. Now I'm going to go in with my Milk Cosmetics Kush Mascara.
You're making me stronger, making me stronger.
I'm just going to go in with these Morphe Hollywood Hills lashes. They're just really pretty and wispy. Of course, I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty lash glue for this. Now I'm going to move on to my lower lash line. That's also going to make such a huge difference. I'm going to take my JH38 brush And I don't know what's my most similar. Here's my M431. It's like the OG pencil brush. You can see the size difference there. I don't know, this is like the E18 brush that I use a lot. That one's a little bit bigger. There's the E36 brush that is smaller. So there's just like a couple of size comparisons for you. But first I'm gonna go in with a mixture of Rockstar and Sparks. And I'm just gonna start blending that into my lower lash line. I like how nicely this fits under my lower lashes. It really does seem to just kind of hug the curve of your lower lash line.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Then I'm going to take the JH43 brush. This is very similar to the the M432 brush. You can see the difference here. I mean, the M432 is very soft. I just feel like the JH43 is like thicker that way. But I'm going to grab Mystic on this, and I'm going to take this right at the lashes. And then I heard her say this one, the JH37 brush, which I'm kind of confused by this brush. This one, and then the JH36. And I'm confused because they're kind of squared. Like they're very flat on the top. So I was just like very confused by them. But I heard her say that she uses this one to buff out that lower lash line. So I'm just gonna take it with no product and just kind of buff it out. Okay, it did do a nice job at buffing it out. Like it gave it a nice blurred effect. It's just not something I ever thought that I needed. But she did also say, that like all these brushes are not brushes that you would look at and be like, I need that brush. They're gonna be the brushes that you're like, what the heck? And you're gonna start using them and then be like, I can't live without those brushes. So there's that too. I'm gonna take the L'Oreal Voluminous Original in the color Burgundy, obviously. I'm gonna take my JH39 brush, which to me, in my collection, my my E36 brush is the most similar. Obviously this one still looks like more compact because it has been used and it's brand new, and this has been washed and used a million times. But I'm gonna go with the color Bling Bling, and I'm gonna put this onto my tear duct. Now I need to warm up my face. And to do so, I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs Tan-tastic 104 Omega Bronze. I got this Marc Jacobs bronzer before, but it was the one in the black case, and I just did not like that one a lot. So I'm going to take the JH02 brush. I'm going to show you the other ones that I've used to bronze before. This one came in her other favorites brush. This is the R2. You can see they are similar in shape and size. This one's a little bit longer. This one kind of reminds me, looks-wise, of that Tom Ford brush that Jaclyn always uses that she fell in love with. But let's see. This is super soft. This one's soft too, but it's like stiffer, and this has more like movement to it. But then there's also the R7 brush, which is like almost exactly the same. This one's just been washed a lot, so hence why it looks a little more blown out. The Jaclyn Hill one's definitely still like softer. And then there's the M527. Again, almost dead ringer. I think with the R7, I think they're all basically the same. but the Jaclyn Hill one is definitely a lot softer. Feels very nice. Like it's, like I said, it's really soft. And I just love how this bronzer isn't like too intense and too dark. Okay, now onto the brush that she raved so much about. She said this was the brush to get. The brush. And that is the JH05. And that's the brush that she said she uses to contour, and it has changed her contour game.
I do. Wow, I just keep tossing everything all over the place. If that is broken, so help me. The moment of truth. It's not broken. Okay.
So this is the brush that came in her other Jaclyn Hill favorite pack. It's the M437 brush. And you can see they are similar. Obviously this one like looks tighter because it's brand new, and this one's not because it's been washed a million times. But I still feel like this is thinner because I can just feel this one's fatter. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Anyways, so this one is like longer and thinner, and this one's shorter, stubbier, and it's more dense. Again, this one's a lot softer, as where this one is more rough. So I'm gonna go into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm gonna go in with the middle contour color here. Ooh. Okay. Well, Jaclyn, I can see what you're talking about there. Alrighty. That
is actually very nice. And my dog just took a ginormous dump right behind me. It really stinks in here right now. Mother.
And then I'm going to take the darkest shade mixed with the lightest shade here and kind of just carve out under my jaw here.
Okay, I have to pause because I can't smell that anymore. It's not like I didn't offer her to go outside. Hold on. Professional Lysol. Ugh, stinks. Hey everybody, I'm a stinky girl. I did a naughty potty. I do the naughty potties. I'm a stinky girl. And I still love you. Yes, I still love you. You got in trouble though, huh? Yes, I'm in trouble. I did naughties. Bad. Bad, bad.
So back onto the makeup. Yeah, I can see why she's freaking out over that contour brush, because that totally snatched my face in such like a nice blown out way. It's not harsh, it's not too blown out, but it's blown out just enough. I just want to keep taking it and like, ooh, snatch. Ooh, snatch. Love or hate Jaclyn Hill. We all know there's drama going on. Whatever. Love or hate her, she doesn't know her crap. But one thing I do love to extra snatch myself is the M572 brush. Obviously this is not in her kit because this is like not something that she really does, or like a brush that she uses for this. But I love this brush to snatch my nose. and contour the sides of it. Nothing snatches my face quite like this does. Okay, now I'm going to take the JH04 brush and I'm going to use this for blush. The brush that came with her other favorite palette for blush was the M530 brush. And you can see, obviously, they're nowhere near the same. This one's scratchy. See, it's shedding. I mean, every brush sheds. I'm not like a freak about shedding. And this is obviously a lot softer. I think that's the biggest difference with all the brushes, is just how soft they have been. So I'm gonna go in with Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the color Partay. I want a color that's gonna complement this look, but not compete with it. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my face down with the Drug Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. What she says she does is she takes the Hourglass Ambient Light Powder in the color Luminous Light. I'm gonna take the brush that she uses for it. It's the JH06 brush. The closest thing in my collection to this, which I think also came with her favorite brushes, is the M500. Obviously it looks a lot fluffier, but I think it really is. And this one has a slant to it, as where this one's domed. But she said she takes Luminous Light and she kind of goes right onto the apples of her cheeks with this. And this is what kind of gives her that like amazing glow that she is known for. And I can see that has done it. I've always like, obviously I bought that because of Jaclyn. I bought a lot of things because of Jaclyn. Let's be honest, but this one, I had a hard time with this one, but that looks really pretty. I can see it now. Okay, okie dokie. And then, just to keep it in the Jaclyn family, might be a little controversial, but oh well, I'm gonna go with the Becca Jaclyn Hill Face Palette. And I'm gonna take more of Prosecco Pop. And I'm going to use the JH09 brush, which she said is basically the M501 brush. And I can see they're very similar. This one seems like it's a little more flat on top. Definitely, again, a lot softer than this one. Lately, I've been using my Anastasia A23 brush. I'm just kind of going over all the, like, my favorite brushes. Let's see, this is the M510 brush. I'd almost say that one's more similar, just a little bigger. And then here's the Y14 brush, which is also very, very similar. But this one's a lot softer, like the Jaclyn Hill one, than these two. Never mind, I totally mixed Prosecco and Champagne Pop. I almost forgot what it's called. I can't believe that. Okay, and last but not least is the lips, because I need some lips right now, right? Where'd all my lip stuff go? Here it is. Okay. I'm going to take the Morphe lip liner in the color Twinkle. It's really pretty and has like a sheen, like a shimmery sheen to it. This might be too pink. I think this is gonna be too pink. Never mind, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna take Morphe Foolish. And then I'm gonna take the Morphe lipstick in the color Wink Wink. Yeah, yeah. It's just like a really pretty pink nude color.
What can I do to make you stay a little longer? You're making me stronger.
And then I'm gonna take the Morphe lip gloss in the color Boho.
Stay a little longer. You're making me stronger. Making me stronger.
Okay, you guys, so that is it on my look using the Bling Boss palette and the new Morphe Jaclyn Hill brushes. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys want to see me use the rest of the palettes in the vault, if you would like to see me do a look using each one of the palettes, or if you would just like me to do like one other look using all of them. Let me know down below what you think. And yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the Allie Ann clan. Hit that bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And give this video a big old thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Making